All right, Laird's Training Garage Gym Tour. So the first gym that I had was actually in a sunroom, and I had a bunch of athletes coming and training with me in a sunroom. Now we're obviously into a garage and a garage gym. Kind of give you some ideas and some tips and some tools, you know, when it comes to buying equipment, whether it's for athletes, what type of equipment to get, and what we have, and some mistakes that I've made in the past. But I'll just give you a quick tour real fast. We got a lat pull-down, low row station machine right here. This is really primarily for me. With a lot of the athletes I have, we do a lot of face pulls with this, with the rope. But primarily for me, with the old banged up body from my old athlete days. We got a back extension. We light this up all the time. We use it as kind of like a filler exercise because we only have one. So athletes might be focusing on a lower body day, and I say, hey, get 4 sets of 10 on a back extension, okay? Or some single leg back extension to work on some hamstring, low back weakness issues, especially for those high school athletes that have no posterior chain work in their normal weight training programs. We got our dumbbell set here from 5 pounds all the way to 100 pounds. I got a power block set that I use personal that goes all the way up to 130 pounds. That's actually what we initially used, a power block set, because it was cheaper and we didn't have the space originally. And it worked out really well. We would train 3 to 4 kids at a time, and we would get that power block set in for our dumbbell bench, our split squats, our lunges, any kind of dumbbell variation that we want to use for an exercise. Just an extra marker board. This is the advanced cycles and the introduction cycles for the guys that come train with me at Laird's Training. Introduction cycles are for more middle schooler to early high school kids that are kind of learning the basics and learning the program. We have progressions and regressions for every exercise. So for a squat, we actually got something written up here. We do a lot of box squat, and so I have a regression. An example would be a goblet squat, and a progression to a box squat would be a max effort box squat, which we do a lot of max effort work here at Laird's Training. A lot of kids. You've got to be able to train strong, be able to get better for your sport. Strength is foundation for all athletic quality, so remember that when you're training. So we go on over here. We got foam rollers, got PVC pipe. You can get this at Lowe's for literally a couple bucks. I think I spent $5 on this and then solid it up and got 3 pieces to it. We got your traditional foam roller here with the black firmness. Okay. We got boards for board presses. We got pads for hip thrusts and for Zercher squats. Med balls galore. I got a lot of slam balls. We got a lot of hard rubber med balls. I like the rubber med balls because they're going to last for a long period of time. We might get some wall balls in the future, but we will utilize these outside. The kids will throw them to each other in the street. We might go to a track and go outside and do it on speed days. Ab wheels, accessories, working that anterior core. You've got to be able to be strong for your sport, and this is a great foundational exercise that we have in here. We have variations, again, regressions and progressions for athletes when we use them. I've got a variation here that's a wheel that actually coils back, so it actually helps the kids on their way back. So it's kind of the introduction would be with this, kind of help them on their way back, and then obviously the regular ab wheel, and then the progression would be we attach bands where they have to really use that resistance to come back. That's just an example of an ab exercise that we do. And then we got heavy grips. We use these for our baseball players, obviously, and all athletes in general, because you want to make sure that you have great grip strength for your sport. These go anywhere from 50 pounds all the way up to, I believe, 400 pounds, but this is a foundation for my baseball players, specifically hitters, because, again, grip strength equals bat speed and bat control. You've heard me talk about that before in the past, and so these work out really well for the athletes. Ab straps, these are usually for me personally, because we'll do different type of ab work for the kids. We got a sled here from Rogue. I believe this is the Rogue Dog Sled. The attachments are over here in the corner. We got PVC. This is great for consultations and kind of introductions to learning barbell movements, mobility workouts. These are foundation for your gym, so if you don't have these, make sure you have them. We've got straps over here in the corner, just to be able to use for the sleds, for dragging and pulling and all that good stuff. Here's one of my first racks. This is a half rack. We cut the top off. So we got this from RepFitness. We cut the top off here, so that way it would fit underneath the garage door when we open the garage door. And then we got cat barbell weights, and then we got RepFitness bumpers here at the bottom, 345s and then a 25-pound bumper. I got a RepFitness, which is a new brand, weight training brand, a CrossFit brand. It's got really good equipment right here. It's an incline, decline bench. It's got the connects on the bottom, so if you want to make sure you're not falling off when you're doing the decline, it works out really well. Over here I got my heavy bag. We got a hex bar. We got 2 hex bars. One's hidden in the corner over there. We utilize a lot of hex bar work, hex bar jumps, hex bar deadlifts. Big foundation part of our programming, even though we do primarily straight bar deadlifts when we're in here in the off season. Another extra incline, decline bench, some mace bells, some jump ropes, a deadlift jacks when we got those big dogs in there doing the deadlift. That way we can lift it up and add more weight when we need to. We got plenty of belts from EliteFTS, one of the best brands there is. A couple box squats, box squat boxes from EliteFTS as well. I got a homemade PVC pipe that we use for bamboo press, which is for a lot of rehab, prehab, also for some stability workouts for some of my guys. I got a guy that's had some elbow issues in the past, and we kind of do this a little bit, kind of keep his joints healthy, make sure we're not breaking them down too much. Swiss bars, all my overhead athletes will use a Swiss bar when they're benching. We do not use a straight bar unless we're doing a floor press variation or a board press, most likely 3 or 4 board. We're trying to save the shoulder. You can see other videos of why I explain that's important. 4 barbells. We've got a barbell on each rack right now. A couple great barbells right here. We've got sledgehammers for our sledgehammer training. Here's another one of our racks. This is one of the big dog racks from Rogue. Monster Light flat foot rack. We got our blast strap set up here on the top from EliteFTS. We do a lot of inverted rows in here. So whenever we're getting kids in here, most kids are weak in their back, especially when it comes to pulling motion. So we'll light up these rows, move the barbell out of the way, and we'll attach these right here. We do a ton of inverted rows. We do them with barbells as well. I like the blast straps because it works a little bit on that core. Make sure they have to keep that body as stiff as a board. Chains, add weights when we're doing push-ups, pull-ups, chin-ups, you name it. We do a little bit of everything in here. And then we got our 100-pound slam ball. We got our 70-pound slam ball, extra 45s when the big dogs are deadlifting and squatting. And then we got a big collection here of bands. So again, from EliteFTS, one of the top brands that you could buy anything from. We go all the way from their mini bands all the way to their big dog bands. We use the big dogs mainly for a lot of speed work, a lot of sprint work, doing resisted sprints, and the mini bands for some kind of mini band walks. Yoke bar here, safety squat bar from EliteFTS. This thing right here is a tank. Any kind of baseball player's got some shoulder issues or mobility issues or beat up, for instance myself, we use the yoke bar lock, kind of put them in a safer position up front. That way they're not getting back here and kind of tearing their shoulder into pieces. But the main thing, from moving from a smaller gym to a bigger gym is you always got to think about how many athletes you're going to be training. You're going to think about how to organize and what stations you're going to be. The big thing with the gym is make sure your gym is based around your goals as a strength coach, your goals with your athletes. Make sure that whatever your training philosophy is, you train to that. Don't copy or emulate somebody else. You want to make sure that you're training for what your goals are and what your ideals are. You might not believe what this strength coach is doing or what that strength coach is doing, and there are a lot of great strength coaches out there, and you be your best strength coach and put your gym together the way you want it. And for instance, right here for the garage gym, we use this, if I was in a facility that had heating, you know, obviously instead of our little heater over there in the corner, we probably wouldn't need this, but I got insulation up against the garage that helps it keep it a little bit cooler in the summertime, keeps it warmer in the wintertime as well. It's probably about, it makes about a 5 to 6 degree difference, which is a pretty big difference from what we noticed when we did our test pre and post after putting this on. But also, as you can see, it's Christmas time, so I want to make sure we have our Christmas lights, and my wife put those up. But this is the Laird's training gym right now, Garage Gym 2016. We're about to enter in 2017 and hopefully moving into a facility in the future. So thanks guys, and Laird's Training, make sure you subscribe and like the video. Until next time, see you later.